This is a new day. Beautiful music, right? And light and love and expectation. This day has been waiting for you. It's been waiting especially for you to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms. Just for you. This is the day we have been given. Let's not waste it. Come now and let us worship together. And please rise and body your spirit for our first hymn. Hymn 34 and 34. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing this morning? Good. It feels very summer. Lots of colors, music, and light. Natural and artificial. I like them both, actually. Light is light. It's good. Well, it's good to be with you this morning. I'm really excited. We're going to be welcoming new members very soon. But before we do that, I'd love to announce a few different things. So after service today, right around the corner in Schweitzer Lounge, and for our friends on Zoom, we'll be online as well. We're going to discuss next month's worship theme of building belonging. I like the framework is changing over the course of the next church year. They're much more active, our themes. So less kind of one word like belonging and building belonging. So what does it mean to build belonging? For us, of course, but for everyone here and for our community. So that's going to be at 12:30 p.m. You can join me if you'd like in Schweitzer Lounge and online, of course. That'll be 12:30 p.m. Save the date, next Sunday, August 24th at 12:15 p.m. We're going to be hosting a Death Cafe. Do you guys know what a Death Cafe is? Oh, so it's the best. So it's like a cafe, where they have coffee and tea and snacks. And we talk about death. So it's actually really wonderful. It was a movement that started out of Europe where they thought, hey, we can talk about everything, right? Well, why don't we talk about death? And each of us has our own experience of that, our own feeling about that, our own questions about that. So that's going to be next Sunday, hosted by Melissa Smith.
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Thank you. Gosh, the summer's flying by for me. 2 weeks from now. Thank you so much. Friday, August 22nd, I want to announce Ohio Can, I see folks smiling in the back, is hosting a fundraiser to buy more Narcan strips and other tools to help people with overdose. So Hope, would you mind actually raising your hand? Yeah, so Hope is actually going to be selling tickets. The event is going to be Friday, August 22nd at Westside Bowl. They're offering bowling, pizza, an opportunity to raise awareness and funds. But you can also see Hope right after service if you want to give some funds toward that. And now, you ready, Ryan?
I'm ready.
I'm looking forward to inviting Ryan Streetler for our child side.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome back. Both to those of us here have been gone for the summer, or perhaps just a week. We've been traveling a little bit ourselves. It's nice to be back. Please join Justina, Delilah, Ben, and I in our joy that my eldest daughter, Rogan, some of you might remember, she used to attend here when she was in middle school and high school, but she got married last weekend. So we were doing that. Nothing's made me feel all 45 years of my life than that day. It made me feel old, but it's good things. Today's theme involves the power of the word. Like capitalized the word. When he sent over what we were going to discuss, I kind of noted that. Oftentimes when we capitalize the word, I know it's going to get pretty meta here pretty quickly, but when we capitalize our spelling of what we mean by words, that refers to a philosophical concept of something. I am an English teacher in real life, but I'll try not to get too down in the weeds here. In other words, we're not talking about just the ability to translate symbols, sounds, into phrases that we can mutually comprehend by having taught that that's what the sound combination means. That's really what words are. But rather, the concept of the idea of being able to understand, to have rational faculty. So this comes from the Greek. Their word for words is logos. And you can translate that into word in English. But it's not exactly what the Greeks meant. They meant something more like the ability for rational thought. Your rational faculty. Like logos as opposed to ethos or pathos, like emotions or ethics. This idea of the head. You can feel things, you can feel it in your gut, you can think about it. And so, when we capitalize that word, we evoke that kind of meaning. And that meaning is evoked in a lot of religious scriptures about this phrase, word itself. For example, in the Bible, Genesis says, in the beginning was the Word. That means logos in the Greek. And the Word was of God. The Word, the thought, the knowledge was of God. So from the beginning, friends, there's something about our faculty, our ability for thought, reason, understanding, and philosophical reflection that is of or like the divine. The Bible says that we have been created in the very image of God, kind of like from the same mold. And the creation process is discussed in that same book, that in the beginning, the world was void and without form. But in that story, the spark of creation is the word, is logos, the speaking into existence of things that were hoped for, an act of imagination and creation all at the same time. And that's power. Indeed. Ancient forefathers seem to almost universally grasp that same power of word. In the old Vedic tradition of India, the world's created by speaking it into existence, much as it is in the Jewish tradition we just referenced. One of the most important Vedic texts, the Vedanta Sutra, claims, by sound vibration, one becomes liberated. In that tradition, the world builder, Brahma, heard two syllables ring out into the void that was the universe, tapa, and it inspired him to create the universe, this word. Translated, tapa means penance, or to do sacrifice. In ancient Egypt, special magical words of power were believed to unlock seals and gates and grant access to the divine. And in our own culture, we definitely acknowledge the power of words in our society all the time. Heck, we have a category of words that are so emotionally painful for people to hear, we don't say the word. We abbreviate it beforehand. Think of like the F word. There are other words that are so painful, I'm not even going to abbreviate them right now in this space. That's how emotionally invested we are against really hearing these syllables, these sounds spoken in our public space. It's a lot of power that we give to words, negative power in this case. Modern science also documents the literal power behind words we speak. For example, much recent research has centered on the effects of self-talk in an individual's life. Self-talk is the story one tells oneself about their own life and deeds. Research shows that the words we use to tell our own story, like literally in our mind to ourselves, and maybe to other people as well, can be used to build up self-esteem, to increase your performance, and to self-regulate your impulses. Whether repeated in the mind or out loud, science shows that words have the literal power to shape our lives. And it indicates that the most powerful words in the universe are the ones you say to yourself. It's not what we say out loud to others that determines our lives, but the words we whisper to ourselves. They can empower you. They can defeat you right out of the gate. So join me, friends. Humor me for a moment in a little experiment. Let's test the power of this scientific observation. If you could humor me, if you want to, you don't have to participate. I won't tell anybody. I'll be the only person listening. But if you could just place yourself in an attitude of prayer, whatever that means for you. And I thought we'd do a little like call and response, where I'm going to say some words. I'd like you just to repeat those words to yourself, really. Either verbally or whisper them in your mind. So I'd like you, in that attitude of prayer, first of all, to thank yourself for coming here today. That's right. I want you to thank yourself for walking into this room. Because you didn't have to. It's a Sunday. I could be sleeping right now like I literally could. Like, no problem sleeping. Then, please take a deep cleansing breath and repeat after me out loud, if willing and able. I am loved.
I am loved.
I am a welcome part of this community.
I am a welcome part of this community.
I accept myself as I accept the other people around me.
I accept myself as I accept the other people around me.
I am enough the way I am.
I am enough the way I am.
Thank you, friends. These are words of healing, friends, the true words of power. And today, we light this chalice with the intention to consider our words and to use words to create the love we wish to see in the world.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Karen Lapidus, and I truly enjoy being the new member coordinator here at UUYO. I get a head start on getting to know all of the wonderful people who have sought us out and who have decided that they want to be a part of this community of faith. I get to hear a bit of their stories and welcome them to join us in ours. And though each of them and each of you are on different spiritual paths, we are connected by our shared values and the promises we make with our covenant. So I will now introduce you to our new members. And as I call your name, please come forward and choose a rose. And then if 4 of you will stand here and 3 over here, I think that'll be a perfect balance. But first I must say that Brittany and Sean Baer, new members, are unable to join us this morning. So next we have Joshua and Susan Sitrak. And Joanne Poling. And David Ryder. And Randy Cullis. David, if you could step like on the other side of Melissa, thank you. And Emily Whalen. And did Leslie Williams make it in this morning? She had some plumbing challenges, but I hope she can make it, but it hasn't. And Greg Zukowski. So here they are. Make sure you get to know them.
New members, your journey of the Spirit has brought you to this day. We welcome you and we offer ourselves to journey with you, and we honor your joining us and welcome you to our community.
As the president of the board of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Youngstown, I welcome each of you into our community of memory and hope. Will you walk together with us, sharing the joys and the responsibilities of membership? If you will, say we will. Members of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Youngstown, will you welcome these people into our congregation?
We will.
Will you reach out to them in friendship, including them in our activities and fellowship?
We will.
Will you be open to their unique gifts and perspectives?
We will.
Will you extend a warm welcome to each of them, remembering that each of us was once a new member?
We will.
And on Facebook and Zoom, you can just give a thumbs up.
Such a beautiful moment, isn't it? It's both intimate and communal. I just love it. Becoming a member is an important step, but it's only the first step. I charge you new members to grow in your faith. More importantly, I charge you to find and share your special gifts with us. Ours is a shared ministry. Each of us has a crucial role to play in creating this space, in creating this world, in creating love. We need you. We need your energy. We need your ideas. We need your curiosity. We need your life experience. We need your questions. We need your doubts. We need everything. Give generously of yourselves, and your rewards will be great. I promise that. We welcome you to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Youngstown, and please join me in welcoming our newest members with applause. Now, appropriately, let's all greet one another. Say hello.
Hey, how you doing? It's so good to see you. I was I made a note the other day. I sent the text. Well, the Travis did. Yeah, we're home for a little bit.
Good morning. So last week I shared with you part one of Peter the Purple Power Eater story that I wrote with pictures that AI helped me create. And we were going to do part two today, but the video is not working and I don't want to do part two without the pictures. Yeah, it'd be empty. And so what I wanted to do is ask how many of you were here last week and heard the story. Okay, that's great, because I'm going to ask you some questions. So who was the purple people eater? I'm sorry, the purple power eater. I knew I'd do that. Purple power eater. Who was he? Huh? No, we can't say that word here. So he was the king. So he was elected the king. Okay. So what, Dashel?
I was going to raise my hand for a question.
Oh, you want to? Okay, next time I ask a question, right? Okay. So what was special about this particular king? He had a purple hand. Now, does anybody remember which hand was purple? His left hand. That's right. Well, unfortunately, the AI that I was working with did not know the difference between left and right. So we had a really big argument about this the other day, me and the AI. And we established that, you're looking at a human being, and you have to look from the human being's point of view, which is their left hand and which is their right hand. And I thought I had it, and then I didn't. So we're still working on that, but we just left it the way that it was. But anyways, so this king had a purple left hand. And what did he do with this purple left hand? He made things purple. So this king wants everything to be purple, right? Right? So I'm going to read you the last part of that part one. Read you the last page of that so you can remember that for next week, because we are going to do it next week. So, and he thought the landscape needed changing too. He made it all a lovely combination of red and blue. So every flower, plant, and tree became purple as far as the eye could see. But that's not all. It gets much worse. So yes, next week it will get much worse, but this will be all better. So we'll be able to do the story. So also I just wanted to lift up Ohio Can. I'm also a volunteer with Ohio Can, and invite you all to come to that bowling night. See Hope afterwards. I will be there. Probably not bowling, but I will be there. Okay, so I would like for the kids to come up here. We're going to do some artwork in class with clay today. So in your order of service, you will see something that says the covenant. Okay, find the covenant in your order of service and we'll recite it together. Love is the spirit of this church and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sing the kids to their classroom, and that is also in your order of service.
Good to remind ourselves from time to time that the offering we take is symbolic as well as practical. We pass the plate during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks for the blessings of abundance and to support our community in a tangible way. This month, our offering is going to be the Centennial Fund. This year is the centennial of our wonderful church building. 100 years of liberal religion have been possible in Youngstown in this building since its construction in 1925. To mark this very special occasion, we plan to celebrate this event with a variety of events that look back on the last 100 years at our church, with food and drink and a speaker in the fall. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of our church, the Mahoning Valley, and the wider world. And now our first reading. First reading comes from Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. Our next selection is a passage from the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
So now join me in a time of meditation. I'd like to hold Sarah Lown. Some of you may have heard her father passed away last week. So both she and Gabriel are in Maine right now. So let's hold Sarah and Gabriel and Sarah's extended family throughout this country for our meditation.
Our second reading is a poem called The Power of Words by Letitia Elizabeth Landon. 'Tis a strange mystery, the power of words. Life is in them and death. A word can send the crimson color hurrying to the cheek, hurrying with many meanings, or can turn the current cold and deadly to the heart. Anger and fear are in them. Grief and joy are on their sound, yet slight, impalpable. A word is but a breath of passing air.
What a topic. Who comes up with these? I forget that I do. Boy. I'm finding that the simplest and most obvious topics are sometimes the deepest. And I've yet to explore them. What I love about a topic like this, the power of the word, yeah, capitalized, sure. It's incredibly esoteric, philosophical, transcendent, and completely practical, lived, tangible. Each time I do a memorial service, sometimes I'll do this. I'll ask family members or friends to free associate words that come up based on their thought of a loved one. And I usually say don't overthink it, just see what words come up. For a friend of mine who passed away, I did this. So those words could be ocean, mechanic, stubborn, pain in the ass, that's one word, loyal, cheeky, a range of words. And the point of this is not to try to sum up a life, but to create inroads toward that person, to find a way toward them again and again. In traditions that I spend time with, the notion of a word is the most powerful notion in the entire existence. I return to the Jewish tradition in Genesis. In the beginning, God utters a single phrase, 4 simple words. Let there be light. Let there be light. It happened this morning. Let there be light. And I love the insight into God's creative process, which I think is also our creative process. God utters the phrase, let there be light, and then discerns if what is created is good or not. So the creation comes first. And then discern, is this good? There's a relation between the word and a feeling of appreciation or approval. Let there be light. Wow. Light is wonderful. According to the story, God lets humans in on how to create the world. And you know how this happens? By naming things. God encourages humans to name the animals and thus develop a relationship with them, creating these special inroads. By naming in a real sense, we create it. It's probably why naming a child is so important. I've sometimes wondered how my life would be different if I was called Dennis or Pillowcase. My sense is my life would be different. When I was moving into student housing, they put people's names on the door of the apartment that they were occupying. I met my neighbor who saw my name on the door, and he looked at me confused and said, "You're Joseph Boyd?" He said, "You look different than what I imagined." I asked him, "Who did you think I would be?" He said, "I don't know. You look like Alessandro or something." A name shapes perception, and it teaches us how to relate. Then we get into really juicy territory in the New Testament. A human, you and me, is the embodiment of the Word, which I love. It's almost a challenge. If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you'll have to be able to read it in my life, which, in my view, also means your life. Your life. Each of us is an embodiment of a secret, mysterious power of the universe. It's not bound by a book or a set of phrases. It's also incredibly practical and real. So go with me on this very brief journey. I and you, I am the embodiment of let there be light. I am the embodiment of millennia and countless evolutions, full of creatures from sea and sky and land. I am only here because of everything that has been named, created, lived. Can you feel that? It's true, right? And it's also wild and mind-blowing. There's a sense of oneness in it. And it makes no one more special because we can lift and perceive everyone and everything as incredibly special and profound. To engage another person as if they are a secret holy text is pretty cool to me. To experience ourselves that way too. I have to listen to people apologize pretty much nonstop throughout the day for the language they use. It's one of my least favorite things. It's why I usually don't say I'm a minister, unless there's no escape hatch and someone outs me and they say, no, this is not Joseph, it's Reverend Joseph. My face drops. And it has to come out because I have to see people tell themselves, I'm not going to cuss in front of the minister. And then they do. And then they look at me with pained eyes, like they can't help themselves. I'm so sorry. But anyone who's worked with me, you'll experience all kinds of language. I actually don't swear that much. The F word is probably my favorite, though. It's versatile and expressive. It can convey both positive and negative feelings, as well as exasperation and pleasure. I actually like saying, you feel this? This is the power of the word here. And you know what? I'm going to tease you. Because I like just saying the F word. Hinting at it. Because the word in your mind right now is so much more powerful. It's so much more powerful. Words are strange and seductive like that. Just a hint can be powerful. In Buddhism, one of the spokes on the wheel is right speech. And one of the precepts, which a lot of people hate, is refrain from talking about other people's faults while lifting your own self up. Refrain from talking about other people's faults while lifting your own self up. It's actually one of my favorite precepts. And it's taken me a while to understand why. I think it's because when I talk about someone's faults, using myself as a superior example of how to be, I fail to understand the intimate connection that's available. If you're like me, I've noticed this. The faults that drive me bonkers in other people mirror my own. And it's so hard to see them. I hate it sometimes. But that can be helpful sometimes, to see them manifested for us. It can cause us to want to change a sense of our habits or behaviors. It's very convenient and very human to want to get people to change in their words and actions while we're content to stay the same. God, this guy just shut up. God, this person has to be the center of attention in every single room they're in. God, what? I think the greatest power is realizing we have the power to change our lives. That's the greatest power. We may have influence over some, but ultimately don't have as much say in what anyone else does. But I think the greatest power is realizing that if we're unhappy or in pain or stuck in ways of living that make us feel cut off from life or miserable, with support, we can change that. It's incredibly possible. My favorite use of the word in Zen is to trust we can engage the moment we're in. There are great teachings of just say something, or give me a turning phrase. Just respond, please. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just give me your response to the awesomeness of this moment. And the response is often a shout, or raising a finger, or putting a bowl on your head and wearing it as a hat, or a laugh, or a fist, or a hug. It doesn't matter what the word is. But express yourself. Say something. Don't hold back. Don't play small. Don't be too shy. Don't worry about a mistake. And beware of fear, which masquerades as trying to control. As Ryan said, there are many ways to express the word. Vocalization is just one way, and perhaps maybe a limited way. Our body as it is, truly as it is the word. Blinking is an expression of it. It's been a learning for me to recognize how smart the body is. It's incredibly articulate. I see a doctor nodding. It's incredibly articulate. It is so much faster at processing information and stimuli than what goes on up here. It is. Some words are like nails trying to fasten something to a piece of wood, or trying to hang something on a wall. They're words, but for lack of a better phrase, they're dead words. The goal is to situate and keep something fixed. Many belief systems are like that. They're not alive, slippery, or surprising. And that's part of the appeal sometimes. It fastens things down, and it makes them dependable and reliable, and it doesn't change. And you can give it to your children, and it's exactly the same. And even if it's flat sometimes, even if it's lifeless, it's kind of a reminder of how to situate ourselves. I always get a weird feeling when someone else reads my bio to a group of people that I don't know. I become like a guest somewhere. Every single time I hear it, I get this sense of, who is this person? It's true enough, but it doesn't capture the word. It's about where I went to school and a list of titles and descriptors and things people said at one time. It's fine. But it's not the word. One of the things I love that Martin Luther King Jr. said toward the end of his life, he said, at my funeral, please don't mention I won the Nobel Peace Prize. please tell them I tried to be a good person. Somehow that's closer to the word. I tried to do what was right, or what I thought was best, at the time that I was given. That feels closer. The true word is alive for each of us. And for myself, the word brings me close to the beauty of the earth. The great activist Joanna Macy, some of you know who she is? Oh my gosh, you are in for a treat. I'm so glad that I'm uttering those words to you. You're in for a treat. Joanna Macy is one of the most powerful environmental activists of our time. She passed away last month. And she talks about our human connection to the earth and how we can come to more fully experience the power and tenderness of the earth through our body-mind, directly. In one of the last interviews that she had, the interviewer was kindly challenging her about the notion of hope. He was asking her if she felt that her work in any way would succeed in turning back environmental crisis. And she said something which resonated with me. And I want to share it with you. She said, her main hope was to be connected to the world. From there, it is possible to want to change how we relate to our environment, but it is not a guarantee, and it is not a reason to engage. She said something that I love. She said, how fortunate we are. I'll start over again because it's very powerful, okay? She said, how fortunate we are to be alive at a time when the future looks so bleak. How fortunate we are to be alive at a time when the future looks so bleak. And this is the reason she gives for why we're so fortunate. She said, this is good, because then we can quit assessing whether something will last before we love it. We can quit assessing whether something will last before we love it. She said, we're not going to last. And we're not made to last. But I think we're worth loving anyway. I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's worth it. I think you're worth it. I think this earth is worth it. The fullness of life, the Word, is reason enough to love this earth, including ourselves. Everything is here for us. All of light, all of sound, all of creation, every word that has been whispered, every word that has never been uttered, but felt and true. It's all here. And how wonderful we get to experience that. There are a few things about belonging that I wanted to say, especially with our newest members. I thought of this later, but I wanted to say it. My hope is that in joining this church, it can give us the courage and encouragement to join the world, to join with our own life, to discover that there's nothing missing, meaning we don't need to wait later to love it. There's no guarantee we're going to get later. So best to do it now. It will never get less messy or easier. That's my sense anyway. And I hope that provides a sense of relief, actually. It won't get easier. We are part of this world. And as strange as it seems, we don't need to wait to love it. Today would be a fine day to do it. And the only requirement for true membership in the world is only one tiny, minuscule, simple thing. Everything. Everything we are, including the parts we don't know yet. How wonderful to be in a space like this, where that can be realized, felt, true. It is more than possible. Joining ourselves with what is fleeting and lovely is the greatest power in the universe. It is our birthright. And here we get reminded of what we forgot we were given. Please pray with me. Spirit of love, thank you for the sweat, which reminds me that I'm alive. Thank you to Tim Raridan, who came early, not just to set up sound, but to set up this beautiful table and pulpit and chalice for us. Thank you to Ryan Striefler for joining me in worship this morning and offering words of celebration for Rogan, his wonderful daughter, and for all of us. Thank you to the musicians who bring us a flavor from all over the world, from Handel, from Central America, Germany, all the places our roots are from, all in this room. Thank you for everything that has made this moment possible, something we cannot even fathom. Always we pray. And please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn. It's hymn 21, For the Beauty of the Earth, hymn 21.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts until we meet again.
Well, I can see the last remnants of smoke after a manic nice one. As you depart, let us remember the power of our words. And as we do that, if we would like to, we can remember the one great fact. We are loved. You are loved. And never truly alone.